Hello everyone, today I'm doing a video on what you need if you want to start bow making. Now the first thing you would need to do is to decide what type of fabric that you want to make your bows. So for example, you might want to concentrate on glitter style bows such as these where I've used faux leather and glitter. You might want to make ribbon style bows such as these ones here. This one is actually ribbon and glitter mix, but it's just an example of a ribbon style bow. And this one here is all ribbon. Or you may want to make bullet style hair bows such as these. This one's obviously a head wrap, but you can make just the bows and pop these on clips or whatever you want to pop them on. And I would stick to that one style first, just to get a taster and get an idea of what interest you'll get if you want to start selling them, and just to see how you get on really, if you enjoy it. And then later on, if you decide that you enjoy it, you can then venture out and make more different styles of bows, but to avoid the expense up front of having to buy all of the different materials, just try one to begin with and then go with that. I would say as a beginner, I would start off with the faux leather glitter style hair bows, because these you can get the different prints and colours and you can really play around with these. You can embellish them with clays or gems. So these personally are the ones I would start off with as a beginner. So before I start showing you what you need, I will just let you know that I will label these essential or non-essential, and that way you know if you definitely need the item to make the bow, or if it's non-essential then you don't have to buy it, but it may benefit you. And also everything that I show you in this video I will link in the description below, so you can check all of the products out. If I can't find the exact product, I will try to link something similar. So the first thing I'm showing you here are the bow templates. Now these are what you draw around on your fabric to make your bows. This particular one here is called the Beauty Bow by Glitter Glitter on the Wall, and this is one of my favourites because it's such a versatile shape. I just love the height of it and the sizes. This one actually makes a 3.5 inch bow. You go by the tail to get the finished size of your bow. So this is a 3.5 inch tail, and these are the loops that go with it. This is a 3.5 inch beauty bow example, so you can just see the tails there underneath this tool. And this one here on this snap clip is the 2.5 inch version of the beauty bow, and I double layered it, as you can see. You can also get different types of templates, like this one here has got a wider base loop and then the more narrow top loop. You can do tails down, you can get all different kind of shapes, and then you can get these more narrow bow templates. You can get these like 4 looped ones. You can get these ones which are wider in the middle. These make like a pinch bow. This one here makes like a butterfly shape. I've got some various templates from Pixie.craft supplies. And this one here, this makes a double dotty layered bow. You've got 3 layers of loops. This middle loop here is kind of slanted at an angle, so it gives it a little bit of a different look. If you don't like to hand cut, you can go for a more expensive option, which is a die cutting machine. This particular one is a very old one. I don't think they even make this anymore. This is the Cuttlebug. I've had this over 10 years because I used to make cards, but it still works in the same way. The machine you will see most of nowadays is the Big Shot machine, or the Big Shot Plus, and it's same kind of thing. You have these plates what pull out, and you also have some other plates what you layer up, and this basically uses dies to cut out your fabric. So I'll just show you an example of some dies. So these are dies. I've got a number die here which makes layered numbers. These are good for making badges or rosettes. And this is the snap clip die, which is what I used to make this snap clip here, like that. And because it's got a scalloped edge, I bought the die because I'm not very good at hand cutting out these scallops. So anything that's an intricate sort of design or detail, I will get that in a die, such as the numbers as well, because I don't think I could draw and hand cut a number very neatly. So these are handy to have, but non-essential, unless you've got bad hands, like some people may have arthritis in their hands. Then these would benefit you. You will also need to choose the fabrics for your hair bows. So again, decide if you're going to take the faux leather, the ribbon, or the bullet style bows, and then obviously you will have to get the fabrics. So for ribbon bows, I've got some examples here. So this is a ribbon bow, which I added a clay shaker to the centre. This is also a ribbon bow, and this one I wrapped a snap clip. You can get different widths of ribbon. You can get patterned ribbons, different materials. So this one here is like a leopard print and it's a silky ribbon. You can get patterned ribbons. You can get the stitched edge ribbons. This one here is like a polyester ribbon and it's got a lovely shimmer in it. You can also get these ribbons with a foil edge. These are all examples of 38 to 40mm wide ribbon, or 1.5 inch wide. This bow here was made using a 1 inch wide ribbon or 25mm ribbon, so it depends on how big you want your bow. So with the ribbon, the wider the ribbon, the bigger the bow will come out. I do have loads of tutorials on my channel for all different types of ribbon bows. So yeah, if you're going to go for ribbon bows, I use mostly 38 to 40mm wide, and occasionally I use the 1 inch wide for the smaller bows. You can get some lovely bullet fabrics in different prints or plain, and bullet fabric is basically a 4-way stretch fabric, and these are good for making head wraps, or a lot of people just make the bows and add them onto a nylon headband or a clip. Or you can go for your faux leather fabrics and glitter fabrics. You can get these also in prints or plains. You can get multicolored glitters. You can also get transparent printed fabric. So as you can see, this is a PVC sort of vinyl transparent, and it holds a lovely shape. It's nice and stiff. I've actually got an example of a bow here, so I use the transparent fabric on that top layer, and you can see the glitter layer underneath. You can also get this printed leather, which has got a nice felt backing, and you get this sort of suede effect fabric. Again, it's got a nice thickness to it, a nice soft backing to hold a nice firm loop shape, because some fabrics, if they're too thin, they will be too flat to form a loop. So good quality thicker fabrics are the best ones to use. And when it comes to glitter, I always go for the chunky glitters. Occasionally I'll use a fine glitter. If I do, I will back it with felt to make it thicker. But these are some examples of the lovely chunky glitter fabrics that you can get. If you decide to go for ribbon style bows, you will need some needles and possibly some pins to hold your ribbon in place before you sew it. I also have these fabric clips. The fabric clips are non-essential because you can use your hair clips if you've got those at hand. You will also need an extra strong, good quality thread. This one is a 𝘠𝘠𝘠𝘪 make, and when I pull in the pinch in the middle, because I sew the pinches in the middle, and when I pull on it, I'm not going to risk breaking the thread and unraveling all the bow that I've worked on. To draw around your fabrics, I usually draw on the back of the fabric unless it's a pattern and I want to pick out a certain part of the pattern. You will need a pen. I just use an ordinary biro pen, and when I cut out my bow fabric, I cut just inside the pen line, so I cut it off so it doesn't show on the back of the hair bow. And I also have these little chalk pencils. These are like a fabric sort of pencil that I got online. Again, I will link everything in the description below. So for example, I've got some black glitter and it's backed with a black felt, and I can't see when I draw around the glitter with my pen, so I've got this white chalk pencil so that I can draw around on my darker fabric so I can see where to cut out my stencils. So these are essential if you are making the faux leather glitter style bows. You will need good quality fabric scissors to cut out your fabric or your ribbon or your material, whatever you're using. I use these Fiskars razor edge scissors. You can get these in different lengths. You can get them for right-handed, left-handed, and these are brilliant scissors. They cut through the chunky glitter so easily. You will also need a lighter, and this is to heat seal the ends of your ribbon, and sometimes it helps to heat seal around the edges of your faux leather. If it's backed with felt, sometimes you can cut it out and it's got some fluffy bits. You can just run your lighter around the edge to take away any fluffy bits. And with ribbon, if I just show you on this, if I cut it, it can easily fray like that. So what you need to do is just run over the ends of the raw edges with a lighter, being careful not to burn your fingers, and then once it cools down you can then do this and it prevents any further fraying. You will also need a tape measure. or a ruler. I've got this tape measure here with inches and centimetres on it, and this is just to measure my ribbon to make my bows. It also gives me an idea of how big my templates are before I make my bow, so I know how big my finished bow is going to be. Another essential are your glues. Hot glue being the main one. You will find that you will use a hot glue gun for ribbon, you will use it for your faux leather fabrics, you will also use it for some embellishments. I've got this one here, excuse the state of it, I've had it for about, I don't know, a couple of years now and it's got a bit messy, but this is the Dremel 940. It is a high temperature hot glue gun which uses the 11mm glue sticks. I use any glue sticks, to be honest, they're not exactly expensive ones, but as long as you've got a good quality hot glue gun which goes to a good high temperature, that will work wonderfully. And I also have these two glues. These are my favourites. You need to have a little play around to see what glue works for you, but I find that these three glues are my main ones. So mostly hot glue, but the Gorilla Glue I use for embellishments such as little gems or clays. Now this clay here, I actually stuck it on using a mix of Gorilla Super Glue gel and a piece of felt sandwiched between the hot glue. So as you can see on the back here, you can just see it, I've got a little piece of white felt. So I used my hot glue and I hot glued the felt onto the back of my clay, and then I added some more hot glue to the other side and stuck it to my bow, because hot glue and felt works really well together. But to make it extra strong, I also added a dab of Gorilla Super Glue gel just to the sides to give it some extra holding power, because super glue does work really well with clay. But yeah, this is just my preferred method, so just have a little play to see what works best for you. And for this little clay embellishment, I used this gemstone glue. This is a washable glue. You can stick bead gemstones, pearl sequins, rhinestones on clothing and they dry in about 15 hours and the garment becomes washable. Obviously we don't wash our bows, but that just goes to show how strong this glue is, and that is what I've used to stick these polymer clay little embellishments on here. And obviously gemstones, if you're going to stick gemstones on your bow, the gemstone glue is fab for that. You will need something to attach your hair accessory to the hair, such as hair clips, elastic to make headbands, or these Alice bands. You can get all different types. You can get plain plastic ones with teeth, which you could line with ribbon. These ones here are satin. You can get them in all different colours. The clips, I mainly use these double prong clips because, I don't know, they're just the ones that I prefer in my daughter's hair, and they're 45mm and they work for most bow sizes. If I'm making an extra large ribbon bow, I will use these longer toothed clips. You can even get these little teeny tiny 1-inch clips, and these are good if you make, like, say, a single rolled flower or just want to stick a little gem or something on there. So these are cute to have. I've also got some elastic, and these are good for making made to measure baby headbands. You can get this elastic in a lace edged, or you can just get plain. You can get actually patterned ones, you can get shimmery ones, and these you have to cut to fit the baby's head. Or you can buy these super soft nylon headbands, and they are super soft, and these would fit newborn to an adult basically. They're super soft and stretchy, so unless you want a special pattern or a shimmer, these are really good to have. You can also make these headbands to work with clips by using this elastic. So I've got an example here. I've taken one of these headbands and I've cut off a matching colour piece of elastic and I've wrapped it around the headband, and then using my clip I can just simply pop it into the elastic and make that into a headband. So yeah, I mostly use clips, but I do have some headbands and elastic at hand, so if I do get a customer and want one for a baby, I've got these available. And last but not least are your embellishments for your bows. I would say that embellishments are non-essential, but they really do make your hair bows pop. So for example, this ribbon bow, I didn't bother adding anything to it because it's quite a fancy ribbon bow and it looked fine without. But these ones here where I've added the embellishments, as you can see, you can match them to your fabric, and they just make the bow really pop. So yeah, these are non-essential, but they really do give your bows an amazing finish. You can get your embellishments in a clay. These I actually made myself. I've got tutorials on how to make your own clays. You can get resin style embellishments. So I've got these like little resin princesses and ice creams and this little umbrella. These rainbows are clay. I've also got these little fabric wings. These look really cute on a bow. And you can also get all various different kinds of gemstones. You can buy little gemstones and stick them all over the bows, or you can buy these big ones and pop them in the middle and have this little dangly bit hanging down. These make your bows look very elegant. But like I said, they're not essential, but they can just give your bows the extra wow factor. So I think that is everything now covered on what you need if you want to start making your own bows. If you do have any questions, pop them into the comments below and I will do my best to get back to you. If you enjoyed this video today, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you press the bell button, that will turn on notifications. I'll be back again soon with another tutorial. Bye for now.